I just could not help myself. I had to do a Corrupting Fever Champion reroll, okay? I started with a 100 chaos budget, and that includes all my gear, all of the cluster jewels and whatnot. I bought a few 1C rare jewels as I was like leveling up and whatnot, right? Just some really basic stuff. We did global fizz and spell damage while holding a shield. Literally just whatever random 1C jewels I could pick up. But we started with a 100C budget. And we got all of it, except the flasks. Okay, we'll talk about that. The flask enchants, man, I cannot play without flask enchants. Okay, if I'm playing a Poet's Pen, Corrupting Fever build, I'm going to enchant my flask. So there was an extra 20C, but I played the 100C budget, just did like Elk and Go, White and Yellow Mat. Right, I was level 75. Did some Chaos Recipe, did Elk and Go. Got random, whatever rewards, Unmaking Orbs, Chaos, Vol Orb drops, right? And, 20C, it's not that hard to get 20C to enchant your flasks, really. Like, I don't think that was too much to start. Okay. So technically 120C, but we started with 100, right? And grinded out the last 20. And then I stopped there, right? I didn't keep doing that thing where whatever I dropped, I invested in the build. We just ended it right here, really. So, 120C, but that doesn't make for a good title. So, made on 100C. Okay. Nobody cares about a 120 chaos budget. Okay. Only the 100. But I'll go over the gear quick. It was kind of fun. I like doing Corrupting Fever. So, it's kind of cool to try to restrict myself to a specific budget. Man, I just don't want to press flasks, right? So I had to increase it a little bit. I didn't realize like how uncomfortable pressing all the flasks again would be after a week of instilling orbs. So yeah, very jealous about that. But yeah, Poet's Pen is really cheap. Just picked up like random rare gear that I could put a craft on, right? It's like dot multi, res, and dexterity. I anointed it with black oils, right? Those are like 4C each. A +1 fizz shield with like, almost anything else on it. Just hemo, right? Just like life regen. I did go for a life regen roll here instead of more chaos res, just to be comfortable until I got Fizz Leech from like Doriani Invitation, which I'll be doing on today's live stream. We'll be upgrading the build and making it more comfortable. And I'll talk about that more when I show off a Dunes map in just a little bit. But yeah, I just want to show off the gear, right? It's just the most basic stuff. Really, this move speed and onslaught and kill cannot be chilled. And move speed, I would prefer that. Honest to God, but it is what it is. A resistance amethyst with crafted life, then an astral. This would have been nicer if I didn't have the life on this, but it's fine. Like, it's probably better that this is a little bit scuffed, but it would have been better without the life. I can take the life mastery then, and then I can also craft the Fizz Shift Gravicious mod. It does kind of hurt not having that and helmet implicits, but it's the 100 chaos budget. It's kind of part and parcel. So yeah, a lot of the upgrades that I will be doing past this is going to be a lot of defensive stuff, but yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more. The clusters is just 9 passive. I think these were 5C. You just go 9 passive, 2 notables, right? When you're doing budget stuff, it doesn't have to be 8 passive, the perfect 3 notable, right? You don't have to spend the 3 div on your first cluster jewel or something, right? You just get some ghetto stuff, dude. Then yeah, all the jewels like Fizz.multi and spell damage while holding a shield. These are super cheap. The spell damage doesn't boost the Corrupting Fever damage, but it does boost the Reap and Exsanguinate damage a lot, and it's very cheap. It's much easier to grab those, Fizz.multi plus spell damage or Global Fizz and spell damage than it is for like Fizz.multi and Global Fizz. And like I said, it's a 100 chaos budget. We're role-playing as a dad gamer, but yeah, it's just a generic CF tree, right? You're grabbing life, you get stats if you need it, aura stuff, life regen, life cost, the Scion stuff. And then you branch up to auras and you grab 2 clusters. Pretty basic stuff. Obvious upgrades are going to be 8 passives, 3 notables, and more damage on the jewels. But yeah, that's about it for the jewels. I didn't do anything fancy. I was trying to do things that you could copy realistically. So something like there's a 3 dragons. Like I could get a 3 dragons reap for 20 chaos, but I was like, dude, there's literally like 2 or 3 of these at this price point. Like, let's just grab a generic amulet that people can actually use, right? Like that you could feasibly like copy this. And some people have it. It's crazy. They're like, yeah, I copied this build and it's like, it was better than my main. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, honestly, the build in my mind, it's very weak right now, right? I have, but I say very weak. But what I've done on it so far is blasted tier 16, Red Altar, Beyond, Harbinger. I was doing a Harbinger farm. So I grabbed all the Harpy nodes, right? Did all the Harpy Scarabs, made almost all of them king, right? We did the Gilded Harpy Scarabs, so 50% of them become a powerful Harbinger boss. Combined with this, it's 75% of the Harbingers. Then I added 9 Harbingers to my map, 2 from the rusted scarab, or 2 rusted scarabs for 6, and then another 3 on the map device. I guess 10 because you get a free one here. So I was doing 10 Harpy maps plus Delirium plus Beyond plus Red Altars, and the only Red Altar mod I wouldn't click is the minus armored evasion and then the minus resistances and Meteor. I shouldn't click Meteor, but I just can't help myself sometimes. But yeah, we were just blasting Harbinger. In the last 2 days, I made it to level 94 with this budget, which is pretty good. But honestly, I could be like 95 or 96. But yeah, like I said, a lot of the defense is going to come with upgrades. Fourth Vow, Divine Flesh, getting like Fizz Shift on my helmet implicit. Or if I'm going to stick with Rare Chest, you know, then it would be Gravitious plus Aura Effect, plus, right? A lot of stuff like that's going to help out huge, especially the Fourth Vow Divine Flesh stuff. When you're doing Red Altars, right? Having like that huge chaos mitigation there is like very nice. Because anytime you choose Fizz as extra chaos, it does not hurt at all. Like nothing happens because you're Fourth Vow Divine Flesh. It's so nice to have this build for just blasting Red Altars, right? Just literally not a care in the world. But yeah, a lot of stuff like that. But I did Maven. Maven was a little painful. I'll have Blue Yed put some footage up or something, right? Maven's a little painful, but I just had a couple goofy deaths and she just took some time. Like that's it. It's just slow, but I mean, you just poop in the middle, right? Just keep your poop in one spot. You know, those 3 little poops the big brain does. Put them in the same spot, right? You can see him coming. You know, let's say your poop's in the middle. You can see him coming. You just shield charge into the middle, meet him there, and then Frostblink out. And if you can manage to do that, then Maven's just free, right? If you can do that in the minigame from Pokemon Stadium, you know, GG's, bro. It's a knowledge check. Same with Uber Elder. Uber Elder is actually way easier than Maven. Because all you do is walk around the arena and you just like spam Frenzy, right? Because you do Frenzy and Maim as a swap. I forgot that at the start of Maven, so I was missing like 20% plus damage. And then I forgot the life last thing. So that was like a few deaths right there. It's just get that shit for the fight. But Uber Elder, yeah, Deathless. You just run around the arena and you just shoot stuff. It's really easy to clear up all those monsters, the squids that put the little dots on the ground. It's super easy to clean that stuff up. And it was overall pretty free to do Uber Elder on this. So you can, like, as long as it's not your first time doing the bosses, you should be able to get your Void Stones. It's just like, yeah, if you have never done these bosses or if you're uncomfortable doing them like at all, this is not a build that's going to carry you. Right? Like, you know, it's not happening. Not on 100C at least. If you get more damage, sure, but I had like 1.7 million dot on this budget with no Vol Reap. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, we just blasted a bunch of Delhi, Harbinger, whatever. I won't do one of those maps just because they takes quite some time to do 10 Harbingers. But I will run around a dunes with some Legion for you just to showcase the build real quick. Give you a little bit of an idea of what it looks like. The one weakness, I mean, obviously like more damage, right? But the damage really doesn't feel too uncomfortable, even on like a very small budget, like 100 chaos. The damage doesn't feel bad at all. But what does feel bad is, like I said before, it's going to be like survival. If I click some alter mods before I'm Fourth Vow and I get too much Fizz as extra chaos, you know, because right now, pre-Fourth Vow, I only have 50 chaos res. And obviously not the body armor, so my armor is not working against chaos resistance either. But, you know, you kind of just get to run around, you get to do whatever. I shouldn't click stuff like the flask mods, but there's a lot of my defense is just tied up in flasks. I thought all the cool body armors and glorious vanity jewels and whatnot, but let me find a Legion. We'll pop that open quick. But it's really, you know, like 100C, dude. Like, you just run around red maps, your KB, you blast stuff. You don't die that much. It's just, you know, I'm thinking of like what it could be, right? It's still champ. You still got like some decent amount of art, right? 27k, no flask, 40k with flasks up, which is why it's important to not click the flask altars. But, you know, if I see something cool, I can't help myself, man. Just, I know which ones I absolutely can't, and I know which ones I probably shouldn't, okay? The last one's like a probably shouldn't click this kind of deal. So, you know, it's not that big a deal. But yeah, it's kind of comfy. You just get to walk around and do whatever. You know, you got some evasion rating. You got whatever. I had enough room to fit some chaos resin, so I'm not at 0. But yeah, I mean, for 100C, you don't have your implicits. Ailment immunity is like another big thing that I look forward to. Right now, I'm just doing Shock Pantheon, which, you know, is like okay, but I can still get big, like 30% shocks on me. Obviously, that's not good. You know, like, I'm just going to take way too much damage, sometimes get one shot. You know, it might happen even in this little Legion showcase with Delirium and whatever the hell else, right? But yeah, that happens, so be it. Generally, I just like die when I'm looting, right? Because how I like to play this build is I'll be clearing while I loot. So it'll be stuff like this. Like I'm right clicking, running around, picking up loot. You know, it's stuff like this. This is how I like play the build. That's why I think it's real comfy. Because you can get a lot of your looting done while you clear everything. It's like what I did for 80 Daily 2. You know, you're kind of just like tank and spanking almost. But I'm not going to sit here and just loot, okay? It would be a less of a showcase, okay, if I sat here and looted the whole map. Okay, wow, how interesting would that be? You guys want to see me pick up all those scarabs? Oh, wow, dude. Okay, anyways, we'll do this. I'll skip the deli because I'm not going to get the reward even if I'm killing the boss anyways. Actually, I won't. I didn't click it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't that squishy. It's just if you like stop and you start getting hit a bunch, you know, it's kind of bad. But yeah, that's like CF champ on 100C. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty fun. I very much look forward to upgrades. You know, I can more than double my damage. And like that, right? Like that damage, it didn't really like look bad or feel bad. The rares didn't instantly die, I guess. But I also wasn't looting while killing them. So like whatever. Like the boss took like 5 seconds, I guess. Like he didn't instantly die. But yeah, I could double the damage, get ailment immunity, 4th vow, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of upgrades. I've got like an Adorned setup, but that's just like some giga, like whatever stuff. I don't even know if I'm going to go that far into it. Adorned is so annoying. But yeah, I'll be doing a rare wand graveyard craft and probably a rare shield graveyard craft. So that should be a lot of fun. Not the graveyard part, but when the items pop out and it's good and I don't have to do graveyard anymore. That'll be the fun part. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the live stream. All right, peace out, homies. See ya.